Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, on this beautiful President's Day 2023. Back with Thomas here, my brother-in-law. And you may be asking yourself, it's a pretty path you're walking on there, John. What is this path? Well, this path that I'm walking on is the path, the seventh President of the United States of America, the one Andrew Jackson. And we are here at his home, the Hermitage, right in Nashville, Tennessee. Andrew Jackson, seventh president, the birth of the Democratic Party is pretty much where we're at right here. This is where he had his home before he was president and after he was president. And it's pretty extravagant. And we're going to tour the hell out of this property on a day when our president, Joe Biden, chooses to not go to Ohio and respect the American people. He goes to Ukraine. Take that for what it is, but me and Thomas, we're going to give this a good old American, what did you say it was earlier? Grown-up kids. We're going to give this a good American grown-up kids investigation. Man, you see these huge cedars. Now you got to realize this is where Andrew Jackson, like, he walked right here. The seventh president's Old Hickory. Yeah, Andrew Jackson was a complete badass American. Over 100 duels, shot over 17 times. His body riddled with bullets. He could do a trick where he would cough up blood because he had a bullet still lodged in his lungs. You see they're pulling up these old bricks and relaying them to make the walkway around the house. You see that old tree right there and this one here. I love these old trees, and these trees are probably here during the time. Let's see, the tulip poplar. See the big magnolia over there. So we got a lot of people. Look, there's an old lady over there dressed up all old school. This is the beginning of the house here, and this is Andrew Jackson's. Right here. Hallelujah. I'm home. Sorry.
Where are you going? You don't have a magic tour?
No, I just have a grounds pass. Just kind of walking around.
All righty. Enjoy.
Thank you.
I think this is it for
Now you see, we only got the grounds tour because I just want to, give this a good old fashioned checking out. And when you go inside, they don't actually even let you film, even though I'll figure out a way to film anyway. But they're obviously doing a lot of construction here. But yeah, we're gonna go up here. We're gonna chill on the back porch. All right, Thomas?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow, what is this? Well, it's the old well. Whoa. Andrew Jackson's well.
Still got water in it.
Yeah, still water down there. Okay. And here we are at Andrew Jackson's well. What up? What up, Andrew Jackson's well? Look at that. You turn it. Wow. That is so cool. Here's the back porch. Wow, look at the cellar over there. Hey, Mom, Dad, I'm home. Kitchen and dining room area that way. Yeah, just sitting here chilling. Andrew Jackson's back porch. President's Day 2023. Beautiful property. This is where, this is presidential right here. This is where presidents hang. Right here. You can imagine Andrew Jackson walking around there, getting his breakfast, coming outside, having some tea. There's the inside, where you'd have the fireplace, have some tea. You down for some afternoon tea, Thomas?
Yeah.
You can give this a little walk around, see what's over here. Wow. Cool. Look at that tree. Oh, word. Okay, now that is a heck of a tree. Okay, here I'm standing right onto the west side of Andrew Jackson House, and there's this crazy. It's called the Empress tree, and if you see these little knobs like that, those knobs come out of trees because it's like actually like a cancer cell, and that's the tree pushing it out. And that is one heck of a tree right there. You see how big that is? So that tree was definitely here when Andrew Jackson was here. You see that root system right next to this beautiful magnolia tree. Pretty awesome. And you know me, I'm probably gonna have to just give this guy a good old hug and say, you know, I love you, tree. I love you. Long-haired tree hugging hippie. So
you hugged the cancer cell.
I know I did. I hugged the cancer cell on the tree. That's actually true. That's why trees have those things. You see those knobs sticking out. Okay, here's the smokehouse the lady was talking about. Yeah, and this is where they, oh, just like she said, those troughs like that. Wow. You know, this is seriously really old history right here. And not just like some regular, oh, Civil War. This was our seventh president of the United States of America. This is his home. These bricks right here, these bricks were put here for him. He walked this path. He sat here and he looked at all this stuff back here. Uh, this is what Andrew Jackson, this was his normal everyday. You know, normal every day, just walking around here like this. I'm Andrew Jackson. I'm a badass. You want to duel? Bang! I realized Andrew Jackson, man, that he was a duel artist. That guy over 100 duels. I'm talking old school pistol boom, and like the old school pistols, not like Wild Wild West. I'm talking like the old school, you know, flintlock pistols. Man, there's so much to look at around here. This property is over 1,000 acres. So let's get lost over here on the back acreage over here, Tomas. Beautiful trees.
Man, this is crazy.
Yeah, really beautiful.
The ice house.
Man, look at that. Look at the bell over there.
Wow,
Here, let's take a look at that. I know. See, look at that in all its glory. The back side, my favorite side. Look at that bell. Man, look at that shot right there. That is beautiful. You know, in today's times, as I'm here at Andrew Jackson's house, this beautiful property and landscape, think about today's politics. And you got to realize how far off, you know, we aren't from, they say the Democratic Party split and switched. Well, you got to realize Andrew Jackson, the birth of the Democratic Party, he owned lots of slaves. And slaves was a major part of the Democratic Party. And they say, oh, well, it switched. Well, look at our president right now. You see Joe Biden. His mentor was Robert Byrd, who, when Robert Byrd was a young man, was part of the KKK and did a lot of stuff with the KKK. And Joe Biden, that was his mentor. And that's who Joe Biden read the eulogy at Robert Byrd. Funeral. Robert Byrd was the longest serving senator in U.S. history. KKK member, Democrat. There it is. That'll show you that when did that party switch? I don't think it did switch ever. They just changed their tactics and how they trick people because it's very foolery. Here it is. Andrew Jackson, the birth of it. He had over 100 slaves working these fields here. Check out this cool gate using like a cannonball weight, man. It's got weight to it to keep it coming back. Huh. Let's go check this out down here. Okay, we're just gonna kind of just roam around here at Andrew Jackson's, at old Andrew Jackson's place. Yeehaw! Okay, you know me. I love exploring. Look at this old wall right here. It's coming apart. Guaranteed that was put there by slaves.
There's those flowers again, man.
Yeah. There's the buttercups.
Yeah.
Um, probably.
See that part to the chimney?
Yeah, it looks like there's actually levels right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there was something built right there. And how do we know there's something under the ground that was built? Because of the buttercups. The buttercup plants, they only grow where there's something that was built underneath there. But there's a really cool open pasture back here. Looks like a lot of these trees have fallen down. They're doing work over here, which kind of sucks. But we're going to make our way to the backside of Andrew Jackson's property. You know, the backside's the best side. You always want to end up going around to the backside. Okay, and as we're here at Andrew Jackson's, this may be electric fence, but I see some deer over here. Look, check this out. See 2 doe. Here's one there. Here's another doe. She's over there. But they're walking the Hermitage. There's some kind of weird cellar in the ground over there. And this may possibly be an electric fence. And you know what they say? Don't whiz on the electric fence. You know, you see these old, really, really old buildings that they used to make in the 1800s and the way early 1700s, the way they would just use these old logs and put that mortar like that. And you got to realize these logs right here, that's really old. It's really old wood. Here, look at this. Oh, if I can just get it out. Let's see if I can get it out. It's mine. Bam.
Wow,
Old staple.
that's cool.
Mine. Okay, now we're at the cabin by the spring, about halfway through the back of the property back here. And they just had cabins for, you know, when people would come and stay, they could stay back here in the cabins. Now, back over there are the slave quarters. Now, they only have a few of them here. But at one point in time, there were over 100 slaves that lived and worked on this property. So there would have been a lot more of the cabins for the slave quarters. But this right here was just the back cabins. They got it set up now in there to do like parties. So you can have like a party out here at Andrew Jackson's. But let's get down and look back here, back in the woods. Behind it. Now, just like that lady said, they're still excavating. They're still finding stuff out here. They're not done finding stuff. You gotta think, almost 200 years later, they're still finding stuff at a former president's house. Man, look at these old stones right here. Wow, that is so cool. You can tell this one was just being cut. Wow. Let me take a seat on that right here at the backwoods at the Hermitage. Hey, let's go back here and check this out. Man, look at all these choke vines coming up. Over 1,000 acres, all this property. You know, I wonder if Andrew Jackson just ever came out here. Oh, wow, look at this big bone. Wow, that's something, probably a deer. You see that? No, it's like the pelvis. Yeah. Scapula. Probably a deer.
Oh, this is like a game trail, isn't it?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
more bones.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Probably got eaten up by a coyote. Probably died and got eaten by a coyote. It's back here. Let's check it out. Oh, wow. See, oh, man, we should metal detect this. Oh, man. I'll get in my boots. Look at this. Yes. Look at that root system coming out. Oh, yeah. Okay, here's my spot. Oh, this is beautiful. Here, let's creep our way behind Andrew Jackson's house. You ever been exploring behind the president's house on President's Day? Well, here I am at the very back. On the other side is a trail. Okay, now we're trying to figure out how we go and cross because we want to get to that side. Looks like there's a big field over there.
Maybe we can run and jump to the.
Hey, why don't you grab that board right there?
Oh, it looks all sticky. That wood.
No, we just lay it right across right there just to give us a place to step. We just need one spot to step. Get Thomas to grab the board behind Andrew Jackson's house. That's Andrew Jackson's wood right there. There you go.
Oh, that's part of the original house, man.
Yeah, let's use that to cross the river.
Look.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna use this here to cross the Andrew Jackson stream of life. Okay, if we put that there, bam, there's our way to cross. Okay, I'm actually in not too bad of shoes today, but let's see if I can't manage to slip. Yeah, no. On the bum and down. Okay, let's see what we got here. Now, all we really need is it to go from here to there. Bam, like that. Is that gonna hold my weight? You know, I could just do this and jump across. Yeah, that was easy. Just jump across, John. You can just jump across. Then come up through here. Here he goes.
Man, that's deep right here, though.
You got it. You got it, Thomas. Come on.
I know I'm gonna slide and fall.
No, you're not. You got it.
Here we go.
Here you go, Thomas.
It's like 300,
Tomas.
350 pounds.
350 pounds. Jumping the Andrew Jackson River. Boom! He made it. Lost the hat. Right shoe wet. Okay. And we made it. We made it to the other side. Breaking on through to the other side of Andrew Jackson's. Wow. Here we are. Off the beaten path of Andrew Jackson's jumping streams. 350 pound American men jumping streams behind Andrew Jackson's on President's Day. While Joe Biden's in Ukraine paying pensions for Ukraine people. Here we are, America, 2023. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, where Thomas and I were actually jumping over this is actually called the Muddy Spring, and this has been here since way before Andrew Jackson. And the spring was actually used by the slaves to keep stuff cool. And as you can see, it's just naturally fed. Here's the beginning where we were jumping way over there. Here's where it actually starts. And you can see deep down in there, and it's coming out of here, just naturally coming out of the ground, this spring. And it was actually used from here down there to the house as the water. This was the water source for the slaves back here, because you saw Andrew Jackson had the well that was right there at the back of the house, or the front. That was at the back of the house, or the front, the back. And this was the water source for the enslaved people that were here, and it came right from the ground. And as you can see, that's probably some pure drinking water, filtered out really good, coming straight from that hole right there, and out of this little spot right here. So pure natural spring, fresh water flowing down all the way about a quarter of a mile to the house that way. We're about a quarter of a mile away. We're pretty far back here. Behind me here is the old foundations of some of the slave quarters that Andrew Jackson had. At a certain point in time, he decided to tear down the old slave houses that were just made out of wood, and he built brick homes for the slaves that he had. They had fireplaces and everything. And this was some of them that were here at the later time of Andrew Jackson's life. Um, he eventually had to sell the back end of this property right here to clear some debts, and the houses were torn down, over some time. But the spring is right over there on the other side of right there on those trees, on the tree line. That's what that spring was. So you can see how close the houses were to the actual water source and where they could keep things cool in the spring there, which is actually, you see how easy it was and how close to the water source and why they were situated right here at the very back end of the property. Now, Thomas and I, we're going to take off down the cut back here. Now, I don't know if you're supposed to go back here, but they kind of made this trail, and I see a Tennessee buzzard up there. So we're going to come check out, the backside of this property over here and see what's back here. Probably not supposed to come back here, but that's the Petro thing to do, is kind of bend the envelope a little bit and push and see as much as I can of what I'm not supposed to see as the Tennessee buzzard flies over. Thomas and I, now we're really off in the cut. We're way back here behind the Andrew Jackson's house. We off in the cornfields. And man, you have to imagine, when Andrew Jackson, this plantation, was in its heyday, um, how many people were out here working these fields, and these tree lines are probably the exact same tree lines that they had back then, separating the different fields, growing the different crops. And you can see this huge tree right here. Looks like a big portion of it's fallen off. I see some large stones over here. Stones are hard to move. So these stones have probably been here for a while. I don't know what for. Man, but we off in the Andrew Jackson cut. This is it. The Hermitage. We off in the cut now, baby.
They don't even know we're gone.
Look at that. A shotgun shell out here.
What?
People been hunting. I guess people will come out here and hunt.
Yeah. What do they call it? Poaching?
No, I think, well, I don't know.
Hunt on this land.
I don't know. I don't know what the law is, if this is state land or private property, if somebody's had permission. Man, we off in the cut back here. Look at that in there. What is that? Just a big rock? We're way back here behind Andrew Jackson's. His house is way over there, probably a few hundred acres. And we're way back here, and there's these huge uprooted trees just stacked up over here. And I don't know why. And then there's this big mound here. All this kind of growing out of it. What in the heck happened back here? And what's in this mound? Is it just a mound of dirt? But where'd it come from? Look at this back here. All that firewood. I tell you, come springtime, summertime, that's a snake den heaven right there. See the fungus? But look, these things are completely uprooted. It's just kind of massive. See, there's an old fence here. There's an old fence over here. Looks pretty old. But I don't see where all those trees would have came from. unless maybe they were out in the field and they've been cleared and sitting here for a long time. But how would they pull them out by the roots and then stack them up like that? I don't know. Airport's really close. You can hear the airplane overhead. But here, I'm saying I am way, way back here in the woods behind, oh wow, look at this. Look, check this out. On this rock here, you can see fossilized footprints. Look at that. All over this rock back here. Oh, this is way back here, back in the Hermitage. I wonder if anybody else over the years have noticed that that's fossilized, like bird footprints that stuck in the mud and just froze over time all over this rock right here. That is way cool. You're looking at ancient history right there. Look at that. Wow. You can see how it kind of just walked its path right across. Do. Okay. I think somebody else has been out here because I see kind of TP thing arranged. It doesn't look natural. Or is that natural? Is that just all coming up together like that? It's like somebody, maybe that just broke. It's just like that. Wow. In a natural formation. Now, there's probably something living up under that rock. Maybe a coyote or something. I see a pretty big hole over there. I wonder what's in there. Yeah, that's a big ass hole. Anything in there? Oh shit. You see that? Looks kind of weird back there, kind of green. Okay, out here behind the Hermitage, finding more bones out here. I've been here for a while. Make my way through all the choke vines. See all these choke vines all over the place back here? And looks like, yeah, scratches. Let's see. Oh yeah, I see that. Whoa.
Man, that's the Indians, homie. Look, this ain't natural. This
Yeah,
ain't
what
natural.
is that?
The Indians.
Well, what were they scratching?
Maybe like a map, like of trails or something.
Or maybe they're sharpening
Oh, yeah,
their
they
flints,
sharpening something.
sharpening
Arrowheads.
their arrowheads.
Man.
Yeah, you can see it marked all over that rock.
Man, I bet you we find some stuff around here. Man.
Probably if you clear some stuff around. Yeah, but that's interesting as heck right there.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a pretty rock right there.
That's crazy.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. Crazy. Definitely.
Making my way in the world today. Come back out here. Yeah, just another huge field. Thomas is over there excavating. Oh, I see a skull. Here we got a big skull. Bam. There's the head, the body, the lower mandibles. Definitely a small deer.
Wow.
Here's the rest of its spine over here. But yeah, it met its demise right here. Out here in this crazy field behind the Hermitage. Man, there's more of it here too. Yeah, it's all broken bone. You see that? That's probably from whatever ate it. Cracked those bones in half. Well, the sun's out now, and it's feeling about like kayak weather to me. Out here on President's Day, 2023, America. Look at this, Andrew Jackson stomping grounds. Here we are on President's Day.
We need a horse.
Yeah, we need a horse. I'm gonna tell you, it sure is cool. Investigating, searching this area back here, and having pretty much free range to look around and check it all out. Because I'm telling you, there's a lot to check out. I haven't even gone over to most of what actually the Andrew Jackson stuff is, and we'll make our way over that way right now. But you know me, I like to be out here stomping around the sticks, seeing what I can find on the ground. Look at all that. This is all behind Andrew Jackson's house. Hey, Mom. Hey, Ma. Hey, Ma, I'm going over to hang out with Andrew Jackson. Is that okay, Ma? Yeah, but I heard he's got all them slaves. Hey, Ma. It's okay. It's America. There's another shotgun shell all the way out here in the middle of nowhere. Somebody got a shot off right here. Probably turkey hunting, dove hunting or something. That's what you would hunt with the shotgun. Oh, there might be pheasants around. I haven't seen pheasants. I'm thinking probably just turkey and dove. Okay, look how pretty this is to walk through. Man. Okay, Thomas is climbing up on top of the hill. Now we've got to go all the way that way to get back, Thomas.
Is there somebody down there?
Yeah, there's people walking on the back side. So we're over here on the east side of the actual of the house, all the way out here in the back. Does it look clear to you, Thomas? You have a clear path?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start the march. The march to Hermitage. I'd say we probably did a few hundred acres on the backside back here. It's mostly all cornfields right now. I'm sure they rotate whatever they're growing here throughout the year. But there's a bunch of fields here. And like I say, you just imagine in its heyday, when this whole operation was popping, what it really looked like. And, just jump back in history. I tell you, I was telling Thomas a little while ago, I kind of had the same feeling when I was walking around Auschwitz, on the backside of Auschwitz over by the woods. I was walking around and kind of just, using my imagination and what it would have been like. And I had that same feeling here as I did at Auschwitz. And it's not so good feeling. A lot of hurt here at Hermitage. And they say Andrew Jackson's ghost and his wife ghost walk these acres. And if you're here at night, on a lonely, cold night, you might see Andrew Jackson willing to dole it out with you. You got deer crap all over the place. Come out here and get yourself a stag. Okay, check it out. We found a deer antler, just one. So there was a buck out here. Not too old, but that is pretty cool. And I'll take that home. Maybe make a little knife handle out of it or something. What do you think, Thomas?
Yeah, that's awesome. Man, that's a cool phone.
Yeah. Andrew Jackson horn. Honk honk. I tell you, no telling what we'll really find out here.
Yeah.
Thomas, here, put that on your head like a deer, and we'll do the.
How's it go like this?
Yeah, and we'll do the call sign here Hold on. Here we go. The Call of the Wild. The Call of the Wild. There's the infamous and dangerous Thomas deer.
What do they call this? The Wendigo?
The Wendigo. There he goes.
Bro, this is
Okay, this spot right here, they're still excavating this little area right here. This was what was called the North Cabin, and as you can see, Andrew Jackson's house is right back over there. And this was built in 1865, right at the end of the Civil War. This cabin right here was, and this is all that kind of remains of it because they dismantled it sometime after that. But they're still excavating. They haven't really touched much of this. So all the stuff you see right here is how it's been for years and years and years. And I don't know what this old tin. Oh, that was the roof of it. Obviously, that was the roof of the house. So, or maybe I don't know because all those have wooden roofs. But that looks like that's kind of what that would be. But we're all the way back here. We're made it to the backside now. We're gonna go check out these dwellings over here. Now, this field right here, this used to be mainly a cotton field, and Andrew Jackson had a huge cotton gin over there where he stored the cotton, and this field would have been full of cotton for most of the year, and that's what he would have grown right here. He jumped into the cotton game and to make more money, and since then the big building has been torn down, but that's what this field right here was mostly, right under this huge elm tree here. I'm sure this elm tree's been here for quite a time. Yeah, that is a piece of old porcelain pottery. We know how to spot them now. Yeah, that was probably a plate from some time. Where'd you find it at?
over there.
There might be other pieces.
You know, it was probably because that cabin was right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sticking out of the ground right here. That's it, dang. Where's that white rock at? There's a white rock over here.
But bam, there we go.
Yeah, right here.
That's a piece of porcelain. Now, if you see over here on this tree, it looks like obviously there used to be a fence right here where it grew into the tree. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines where a fence used to have been right here growing into that tree. Okay, now what we just did is this trail right here is what's called the Field Quarter Trail. And this was the actual trail back to the slave houses. So the slaves lived all the way back here. Oh, wow, no shit. You didn't just find that?
Yes, I did.
Oh, man, okay. So now we've got great
Great
finds, yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome. Let's hold on to that. Okay, let's go and check this out. Yeah, no. Let's look. Watch your head. Man, you can tell how old this wood is. Look at this in here. Whoa, it's got a basement. Wow. Underneath, look at that. There's a whole nother part of the house in there. Look at this. What? Yeah, I gotta climb through here. Like this. Whee. Ooh. Here we got artifacts. Look at the artifacts. Whoa. See how big I am in here. Hit my head on the top. Bing. This is a slave cabin. This is what the slaves would have lived in when they had their own fireplaces. Okay, now these are the actual slave homes of Andrew Jackson's, and he had over 100. So there was these here, the ones all the way in the back. So they said about each family had about 8 to 9 people. So there'd be about 8 to 9 people per room of these. And here's another foundation here. And it's on the back 2 acres from the house. And as those horses over there are fighting, you see there's the old barn. I don't think you can go to it, but that's the old barn over there. And they got their horses, their steeds.
Another well, isn't it?
Yeah. I tell you, this is a pretty crazy little walk right here. You can imagine I'm walking back from the slave quarters over to the big house, and imagine who's made this walk, this exact walk that I've made before. You know, say like walk a mile in a man's shoe. Um, I kind of did that here at the Hermitage of Andrew Jackson property. I walked about a mile around here, and I get a weird feeling. Uh, was our president was an American. He was a great American. Fought in the Revolutionary War, helped establish this country. Many battles. Andrew Jackson fought and won. Battle of New Orleans. Many of them, but still a tarnished reputation because of the slaves. Although Andrew Jackson was, they said he was good to his slaves, whatever that means. And some of his last dying words were, "Take me home to be with my white family and my black family." That was some of Andrew Jackson's last words. So here it is, Andrew Jackson Hermitage. Another one of these beautiful plantation homes on a beautiful plantation property. So here's the setup of what it actually would have kind of looked like in here. This is right behind the house here. But we want to walk over here because I think Andrew Jackson's buried right over here. So let's go check out the tomb of Andrew Jackson. Walking through the east side of the property, the east side of the house. You see how beautiful that house. Those beautiful colored bricks with the white. And you got this really cool pattern here in the middle. I'll walk through it. But over here is the actual resting place of our seventh president, Andrew Jackson.
Folks' house where they were growing lambs here. They got those.
Yeah, the different herbs
Yeah.
in the ground. Wow. Oh, here it is. Well, and there we go. The resting place of Andrew Jackson and his wife, Rachel Jackson. Andrew on that side, Rachel on this side, laying in the ground right here for everybody. Looks like there's some other. Uh, this must have been the family. Oh, here was his. Here was his faithful slave. Yeah,
Well, look at the corn
Uncle
inside they
Alfred,
put on there.
98 years old. He's buried right here. Wow, right next to him. That tells you something right there.
Yeah, man.
I think I've read that story before too. There's another gravesite over here. Hey, look at these. Marion Adams. Oh, here's his adopted son. He had an adopted son. He didn't have any kids. I think it was his sister's kids. Man, look how old that is. Wow. And here you have this bench presented by former First Lady Laura W. Bush, 2007, underneath this beautiful magnolia tree. I think I'll just take a seat on this bench, dedicated from Miss Bush to Andrew Jackson, under the magnolia. And we're back on the side of the house. Whew. Good Lord, they're doing a presentation here. See if I can make my way around. Man, I have walked and walked and walked. Whew, I did. We got some exercise today, sir. Way out there in the cornfield.
That's crazy. You hardly find these.
Yeah.
What we found? Yeah, good eye.
Wow. So did he just say those things are hollow?
They got cedar. Inside of Eastern, red cedar is on it.
Has it always been like that?
Wow. I mean, the outside two pillars have been replaced by the exterior, but the interior
Man. Okay, I'm Petro. That's Thomas. That's Andrew Jackson's Hermitage plantation home that he had, and he actually had to rebuild this house because it had burned down, and then he returned after he was president and rebuilt it all up again and added these wings. It was just 4 up, 4 down, but he added the wings and the study and all that. And when the guy said that, all those trees over there on the side, those were here. All these have been replanted, but most all the big trees were here. And Thomas and I, we found some deer relics that are coming with us. And I got a little staple nail from one of the buildings. So we got some artifacts. Turned out to be a beautiful day. It was a little overcast when we got here, but the sun just came out. And I think we might go a little bit up the road from here to the state capitol. They said we're free to roam. Thomas and Petra are free to roam the state capital of Tennessee. And that's also where the tomb of 11th president, James Polk, which was Andrew Jackson's protege. And man, look at this walkway back to the house. You can see all the way up here. Here were the old front gates, all the way up to the front. There it was. And this is what it would have looked like when Andrew Jackson would have came rolling up in his horse-drawn carriage from battle, coming home to see his wife. He would have came up and he would have seen that. My God, what a beautiful, beautiful sight. Okay, we're walking around about to finish this video, and this gentleman here, who's actually from Texas, watches my videos on YouTube. Great to meet you, sir. Yeah. And on this beautiful President's Day, 7th President of the United States, Mr. Andrew Jackson. I'm Petro. Thomas, what's your name again?
Brent.
Brent and
Sharon.
Britt and Sharon. Nice to meet you. Till next time. Now, Thomas and I are at the Tennessee State Capitol, which is a beautiful building built right before the Civil War, about 20 years before the Civil War. This building and this hill here was a major part during the Civil War, and the Union soldiers battled and fought here and overtook this spot and used it as headquarters for a lot of the Civil War. Across the street, you have this beautiful building over here, which is the War Memorial Building. But this state capitol right here, built in 1845, and the guy who built it, who started building it, died in 1854. It says, and is buried there too. Now the reason why we're here, because it's President's Day, we're just over at Andrew Jackson's place hanging out, and now James Polk. I've done a lot of videos on James Polk, the 11th president of the United States of America. So for President's Day 2023, we're doing 7-Eleven. We're keeping it like a convenience store. We're doing 7-Eleven, Andrew Jackson, number 7, and James K. Polk, number 11. And I believe both him and his wife are buried here. Now, Polk has been buried and reburied like 3 or 4 times. They kept moving his body around, but they finally decided, okay, state capitol, that's where we're going to leave Polk. Now, why do we like Polk? Because Polk is the reason why we have Texas. So we love Polk. But we're going to go check out the state capitol here and see Polk's tomb and his wife. I'm telling you, it is beautiful. It is huge, and it is beautiful. The Supreme Court, the Tennessee Supreme Court's right across the street on the other side over there, too. Whoa, this place is really huge. I've been to a lot of state capitals before in Austin. I've been to Washington, D.C. But I tell you, this one here is spectacular. Wow. Now, this is what I call architecture. Amazing. Really beautiful. Magnolia trees everywhere, right in the heart of downtown Nashville, up on top of this big hill. Here's a big Andrew Jackson statue. Let's go check that out. Okay, here we are at the base, state capitol, Tennessee. Look at this Andrew Jackson statue here. We're just at the Jackson Hermitage. And beautiful, beautiful statue. Number 7 right there. And here we have a beautiful Liberty Bell reproduction of the one that's in Philadelphia. That is definitely bronze. Really cool. Got Andrew Johnson. And remember, also Tennessee has another president. There's 3 presidents. Tennessee. We had Andrew Johnson too, the 17th president of the United States of America. And we have a statue of him over here representing Andrew Johnson. I will get into him in later videos. Andrew Johnson was more from eastern side of Tennessee, but he was the 17th president. Okay, screw those guys over there chopping up the trees. But right here is a time capsule that was put here in 1927 by some people in this triangle. Kind of weird. Right here at the, I guess this would be the back left corner, or yeah, back left corner of it. You got to think strategically where this is positioned, why, and why it's a triangle like that, like a pyramid. Pretty interesting though. Got these dang a-holes over here in their wood chipper. But as I'm walking around here, I'm seeing all over the place in this area, there are beautiful bronze statues. And I love statues, and I see them all on these buildings around here. You have the Speaker of the House representative over here. Plaza. Man, this is Capitol Hill here in Nashville is where I'm at. Supreme Court on the other side, Capitol. This is what would be known as Capitol Hill in Nashville. Now we're coming up on number 11. So in one day, on President's Day today, which is the 3rd Monday of every February, is President's Day. Every 7 years, it actually happens to land on George Washington, our first president's birthday, which is February 22nd. And for this President's Day, I've shown you number 7, Andrew Jackson. And now I'm going to where he was buried at. I showed you his tomb, where his body lays. Now here's number 11. This is James Polk. This is where James Polk is buried at. Right here at the base of the Tennessee State Capitol. Him and his wife, Sarah, are buried right here. Everybody that lives in Texas, thank this man right here. He is the reason you live there. He is the reason Texas, is because of James Polk. And we like James Polk, and here's his tomb. James Polk actually died maybe a month or 2 after his presidency. They said he literally worked himself to death. And he died from from puking and pooping himself, and from working himself to death. And he died in a house that he owned in a neighborhood that way, a few blocks away. You can actually go to that house still, and that's the house that was owned by Polk when he was president. He had bought that house and went there after he was president and died there. But this is where Polk is buried, right here. Okay, now we pretty much walked all the way around the Capitol, and that's the Capitol right there. Really cool that on President's Day that I was actually able to show y'all two tombs, two graves of two former presidents, number 7 and number 11, and Andrew Jackson and James Polk. And it's actually a beautiful property right here. From up on top of this, you can see all the way down in Nashville, all these crazy buildings and this big bell right here for the Music City, country, rock and roll, classical, blues, bluegrass, folk music. But the reason we're walking down this hill, like, John, why are you walking down that hill? Oh, it looks like there's a path over here. Probably want to go down the path. But I saw what looked like some ancient Roman ruins down here. And got to check that out. Now, why would there be ancient Roman ruins at the bottom of a hill at the Tennessee State Capitol? I don't know, but I gotta see, and y'all will see too. Wow. Okay, we actually get to crawl up around and touch these things. These were replaced. These were part of the original Capitol, and all of these were replaced in 1950 because they structurally were damaged, either from the Civil War or over time. So these were replaced. These used to be up in there, but now they're down here as part of this little park at the bottom. And I think this is just so cool to be able to see. Now they say all of this, the entire building, all the stone, and I'm telling you, that is some crazy, hard, heavy stone, was all quarried not far from here by convicts and slaves. So all these were cut, made, brought here by convicts and slaves in the 1850s to make that. And these are pieces that were replaced. It's like a big cog or like a wheel. You see that? Really awesome. Well, that was President's Day February 2023, in America, Nashville, Tennessee. Two presidents, two tombs, Andrew Jackson, James Polk. Number 7, number 11. Thomas and I were out there lost in the wilderness behind Andrew Jackson's house, finding deer skulls and bones and shotgun shells, and a really awesome experience back there. If you didn't know, but right there at the front, they actually have like a restaurant and a bar, and they have like wine tasting and whiskey tasting, and you can go up there and get totally trashed at Andrew Jackson's house. I just go up there and get totally trashed, and then walk around that place. Now, myself, haven't drank and over like 14, 15 months, just lost the taste for it. But if you wanted to do that, you could go over there and do that. But look at this. Happy President's Day. I'm Petro. It's Thomas. Tennessee Capitol. Andrew Jackson. James Polk. 2023, baby. I'm out. Hey. We're walking back to the car. See this big building? It's the archives building. It says 1854. But look at this. This is a nuclear fallout shelter right here. Across the street from the Tennessee State Capitol. Nuclear fallout shelter. Where? Wow. Well, look at that. Thomas, you know what I think about it? I think